Have you ever truly felt what someone else feels? And I don't mean just understanding their words. I mean actually feeling their pain, their joy, their fear. Not as an idea, but as a lived experience. We like to think we can do that. We say things like, I know exactly how you feel. But here's the uncomfortable question. Do we really? For centuries, empathy has been treated like a moral superpower, the ability to step into someone else's emotional world, to walk in their shoes. But neuroscience tells a more complicated and honestly more interesting story. Let's start with something familiar. A close friend tells you about a heartbreak. You listen carefully, you nod, you feel something stir inside you, and in that moment, you believe you understand. But what if what you're feeling isn't their emotion, but your brain's best guess, built from your own memories? This is where the illusion of shared feelings begins. Our brains are equipped with something called mirror neurons. These neurons fire not only when we experience something ourselves, but also when we observe others experiencing it. On paper, this sounds like emotional telepathy, but in reality, it's more like emotional simulation. Your brain doesn't copy their feelings, it recreates something similar, using your own emotional vocabulary. Think of it like trying to imagine a color you've never seen. You can't. You can only remix what you already know. When we try to empathize, regions like the insula and the anterior cingulate cortex light up. These areas help us process emotional states, pain, and social awareness. But they don't give us direct access to someone else's inner world. They translate external cues, tone of voice, facial expression, body language, into something meaningful to us. And that translation is shaped by everything we've ever experienced. This is where theory of mind comes in. It's our ability to attribute thoughts, feelings, and intentions to others. We develop it early in life, and it's essential for social survival. But theory of mind is still a theory. It's an inference engine, not a mind-reading device. And like any engine, it has biases. We project, we assume, we fill in gaps. Confirmation bias makes us notice emotional signals that match our expectations. Projection bias makes us assume others feel the way we would feel in their situation. And the fundamental attribution error pushes us to judge others' emotions as personality traits rather than responses to context. So how accurate are we, really? Psychologists use a term called empathic accuracy, and the results are humbling. Even people who believe they're highly empathetic often misunderstand others more than they realize, especially when emotions are complex, mixed, or unfamiliar. Personality plays a role too. Emotional intelligence, introversion or extroversion, cultural background, all of these shape how we interpret others. Two people can witness the same emotional moment and walk away with completely different conclusions. Now add technology to the mix. Online, we strip away tone, body language, and timing. Empathy becomes compressed into text bubbles, likes, and emojis. At the same time, artificial intelligence is being trained to detect emotions, analyzing facial expressions, voice patterns, even micro-movements. But here's the ethical tension. If humans struggle to understand each other emotionally, what does it mean for machines to claim they can? Are they reading emotions or just patterns we've labeled as emotions? Virtual reality promises deeper emotional immersion. AI promises emotional prediction, but neither solves the core problem. Emotions aren't data points. They're lived, embodied, subjective experiences. So where does that leave us? If perfect emotional transference is impossible, is empathy a lost cause? Not at all, because empathy was never about perfect accuracy. It was always about effort. Real empathy lives in active listening, in asking open-ended questions instead of making assumptions, in validating emotions without trying to fix them, and most importantly, in self-awareness, understanding our own emotional landscape before trying to navigate someone else's. We may never fully feel what someone else feels, but we can create space for their experience to exist without distortion. We can replace "I know exactly how you feel" with "help me understand." And maybe that's the point. Empathy isn't about becoming someone else. It's about meeting them at the edge of what we can understand and choosing curiosity over certainty.